everybody, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Zee Garcia.
And I'm Camilla.
And today we're taking a look at a game called Ofrenda. What does that mean?
Offering.
Oh,
I know. Well, I'll tell you what, there is definitely an increase because there's an increase in Mexican game designers, and that culture is coming in. We're seeing a lot more games with the themes of, well, Day of the Dead for the most part. Also, the popular movies and things like that have brought it into culture more. And this is another one based on this very colorful festival. I mean, if you think about it, Day of the Dead sounds more depressing than the festival makes it.
Yeah, it's a
be,
celebration.
Right?
It is a celebration, yes, and a remembrance, and this comes across that way for sure. Plus, it's a really puzzly game.
In this game, you are building an offering, an altar type in front of you, pictures of loved ones, and they don't. Apparently, their pictures would not like to be next to other people's pictures if possible.
That's right.
Our personalities do go with us, yes.
Here's how it plays. Each player is going to have their own player board where they're going to be putting different portraits of family members on there. And there's spots for 12, and so you will have exactly 12 turns in this game. Players are going to get a handful of different people, and you can see two different sides there. Each of them has requirements, which we'll talk about in a second, but they also have a different symbol at the top and a different color, although you don't need to remember colors, the shapes. So green is always a star, pink is always a hexagon, etc. On your turn, a player is going to take one of the people here on this board up here from a deck that's shuffled. You can take this one for free. If I want to take any of the other ones, for each one I skip, I must put a marigold on that spot. So if I want to take the third one, I would put a marigold on both of these. You also can take the candle that's directly above the one. If you want to take a different candle, you can, but then you must put a marigold on the portrait underneath that. Whenever you take one that has marigolds on, you will collect those. After you're done doing that, then the portraits are filled back up, and you'll draw from the candle bag to put more candles here. After you take the portrait, you will then pick one of the portraits in your hand and place it in any spot on the board. The only restrictions are, some of the spots have marigolds, and when you place there, you will get a marigold. Other spots have, in the middle here, when you place there, you must pay a marigold, and if you don't, you can't put one there. You can actually discard a card and take 3 marigolds, but if you do that, you will have an empty spot on your board at the end of the game. When you have 3 portraits surrounding a marigold, you may place one of your marigolds there where you can get possibly points at the end of the game. The same thing as when you completely surround a candle. If you've taken a candle, you can put a candle in that spot. Now, all of this is being done to score. Each card will score if it meets the requirements. So this one needs to be next to it. 2 or more cards with that symbol. Well, it's next to 1 with that symbol, but it's not next to 2. If I did get 2 with that symbol next to it, for example, both of these, then this card would flip over. This card needs to be next to only cards with that symbol, the fruit, or green. So this one matches, but this one does not. So this one's not going to turn over. This one needs to be next to at least 2 green. It's next to 1. If it got put next to another one down here, for example, then this one would also flip over. And some cards say they can't be next to, for example, this one cannot be next to pink or purple. The candles are going to score. This one, for example, says have the most of this symbol. This one says have 2 of each, at least 2 purples and at least 2 pinks. And if you get one of those, your candle will turn over. Now, once everyone has filled in their 12, everyone is going to score. And scoring is pretty simple. Each portrait that you have flipped over is going to score you 2 points for each adjacent lit portrait and 1 for each unlit portrait. So if this one was here, for example, and this one was turned over, it's next to, it'd get 4 points, 5, 6 points you would score for this portrait. Any portrait that's unlit scores you nothing. By the way, each person gets their own scoring pad. You write it here. You also notice that 3 of the spots have a gold thing around the outside of them. Those will score you double points if you succeed with those. Marigolds are going to score you 1 point for each lit portrait they're next to. And then candles will score 2 points for each lit portrait they're next to. But remember, you have to meet the candles requirement for it to be lit. So you'll add all these points together, and whoever has the most is the winner. I think the production of this game is very well done. I
Yes.
really, in particular, the boards being dual layered is nice. The marigolds are nice, but the art is my favorite part. I think every card is different.
Yeah, and I think it really comes through and shines in that production. I think it was a good call to go with the smaller cards, just for hand management as well as keeping that board smaller. A lot of times we talk about like, the board was just 10 or 15% bigger. No, I think they really nailed the size and the production on this.
Yeah, the whole theme really comes through in a nice way. Again, the puzzly nature, like the way you win the game, is not thematic. And again, we were making fun of it a moment ago, but the play of it, the enjoyment of having this pyramid of portraits that slowly builds, and when you complete something, you get to flip it over to the colored-in sort of lit side, and you're putting in candles and decorating with marigolds. It's a game that at the beginning you look at this empty board, and at the end you look again, and it feels like you've made so much progress.
And that's what the game is about, really. There's just a couple mechanisms in here. But the main one is surround cards that match each other if possible. This card wants to be next to green cards. Well, I want to put it next to a green card that wants to be next to pink cards if this is a pink card. I don't know if it's possible to do all 12 cards. I'm sure someone's done it somewhere.
I'm sure. I think it is possible. I think it's extremely difficult to, and with a sprinkling of luck in there as well.
Yeah.
The right
Yeah,
cards coming out at the right time.
The marigold thing has been done before, the whole put stuff on cards and skipping them, although in this game it feels tight as all get out. On turn one, you'll be like, I really want that card. I'll spend 2 marigolds. You'll regret that for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
And giving up a card to get 3 marigolds just feels...
That's a kick, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I guess if you're not going to score the card anyway, I mean, I end up not scoring 5 cards, so it probably doesn't matter.
Unless that card would pay the play. You're not scoring that card, but does that card play into another card being able to be scored? Then you are giving that up. So
one thing I did not like tying the candle to the card you took. I found that to be a level more than I wanted. So I'm skipping 2 cards to take this card because the whole game is about, this guy wants to be next to green. He wants to be next to symbols with this on. There's a card that's green and those symbols. That's the card I want. I need to pay 2 marigolds to get it. Then I think, what about the candle over it? I don't really want that candle. I want this one over here, or I don't want any of them. I felt
You have
like
to
the
pay
candle
another
thing,
marigold if you
Another
want that
one.
candle that isn't above it. So again, you can do it. You can break the rule of taking the one above it. You also spend plenty of turns not taking one,
Right.
Because you won't always place one.
Yeah, and you have a limit of how many you can
Right,
hold.
you're
Yeah,
also-
you can hold 3. Yeah, there is. Again, it's like a puzzle on top of a puzzle a little bit, and it can be. It feels like the bumpers on your lane are definitely up in this game in many respects. I don't dislike it. I like structure to something like this, and then you can pay to break that structure. But I think you're probably right that it would not be that bad to just be able on your turn to take one of 3 candles up on offering or something and then replenish.
Right, exactly. I think maybe if it wasn't 1 per card, but maybe a lesser of a pool to choose from, but you have flexibility of that's an additional bonus action you can take on your turn if you would like.
I think that would be minor
agree.
change, yeah.
I agree.
Z mentioned the puzzly nature of this game, and it's really there. You're going to like it or not.
Yes.
Yes.
I tend to like puzzle games a lot, but this one does not do it for me because while it's really puzzly, 2 things keep me from enjoying it. One is luck. Sometimes I'm like, I need a purple card. There's not even one out there.
Not coming, right.
Or it does show up, and I'm like, well, I'm not spending 3 marigolds. I usually don't even have 3 marigolds to get that. The other is, I can't tell you how many times in all the games I played this where I put a card down later and I was like, oh, that was dumb.
Right, yeah.
I put that card down, and now it's ruined these 2 cards I was going to put in these spots. And you can't undo it.
Right.
I guess you could do it immediately. And
Right.
like, I mean, but I'm like, wow. And that, I don't know, when you're only playing 12 cards, you can't screw up ever, really.
Yes.
Right.
And I've done it so many times in this game.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those. You say you're either going to like it or you're not going to like it. I definitely put it more in the calico part, where it's
Yes.
like puzzle on top of puzzle. There is going to be some hate drafting moments. There's also going to be a point in the game where you turn and you're like, I'm now just watching points disappear. I know I
Yes.
want this card here. I'm just waiting for a turn to play it. I know I want this one here, unless something better comes up. And other than that, it's just watching those things disappear or kicking yourself for a turn 3 turns ago and be like, oh man, I meant to put this card down. okay, and so there's always that switch that you're going to know if you like that, it's right in line with that.
It has that a high potential for those turns that before your go, the player before you takes that card that you want it, and you just lose your mind. There's a very high potential for that whole come on, don't take that thing.
Yeah.
On the counter side of that, you do have a hand of cards in this game. So when you draft one into your hand, you can then play one of the ones you are holding, not the one you just acquired. So it does let you buy some time by doing that.
Yes.
You can kind of wait out the game a little bit. And getting that puzzle figured out is not the only thing you are doing. You're also doing the candles. And that part does not care about the geometry at all.
Right.
You can just be like, well, I have 2 red and 2 orange. I can get some. So the Calico comparison is definitely apt. I find this less punishing than Calico because there's other stuff I could also do. And I just kind of found the puzzle a little less punishing anyway.
I think I found the puzzle less punishing, but I definitely find it just as frustrating and probably more puzzly because, like you're saying, yes, there's other things you can do the candles, but those are other puzzles you're working on.
Yeah.
So it's like layers of it. So yes, while it's less punishing, it's also a higher mental load as you're balancing 2 or 3 different puzzles at the same time.
Yeah, I think that's the right word, the mental load, because I'm sitting there going, all right, I got this candle that says I want to have the most of this symbol. So I better play another one of that symbol. Oh, wait, I can't because that ruins that card and that card.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll go back to you mentioned the 3 cards hand. These same 3 cards I haven't wanted to play the rest of the game. Why would I suddenly want to play one now? That's where I feel.
Yeah.
At the beginning, you're right, though. You I'll take this card because that's the card I'm playing. I'll take this card. And about halfway through, you're like, I'll take this card. What else I got?
Yeah, It's like time to look at the rest of the hand.
I get it. It's a beautiful game. And this is more of I'm not even saying it's a bad game. This is just not for me. I think that luck mixed with that mental load. And it's weird because I know I like Calico better than both of you. But that one didn't bother me as much for some reason. Even though it has the same amount of luck, I think the mental load isn't as much. I just draw a tile and then say, where can I place it?
Interesting. Yeah.
But I get it. But for me, this one's a 5. And I love the theme. And it probably will do well. I went and polled a lot of people who played it. And it was very mixed reactions. Some people like it, some people don't. And I think that's where it's going to end up.
I agree with that. Yeah, I definitely think this game is either going to be a 5 or an 8 for people, and I'm definitely in the 5 camp. I find myself very enthralled with this theme, loving the production, really enjoying that aspect, visually and tactically of the game. But the actual gameplay, I just get more and more frustrated as it goes. I feel like there's too many puzzles happening at the same time that could have been streamlined, but even that streamlined nature is still going to bring me that Calico feeling. And to be clear, that's exactly how I feel about Calico. It's just a step too puzzly for me.
She's not a hypocrite, I am.
So I just feel like to me they're very much in the same camp, and it's not for me. I'm in camp. It's a 5.
I like it. I don't 8 like it. I 7 like it.
Your theory's wrong.
I know.
But I like this game.
Me.
I'm happy to play right now, and I think if you are somebody who enjoys those puzzly games, think yes, Calico. But another one I want to mention here is Reef.
If
you've played Reef, the game that gives you a card that has a thing but scores off of another thing. If you like that feeling, that ooh, this is neat, but now I got to work on a new thing, and okay, this will fulfill that, and now I have to work on a new thing. It's this sort of daisy chaining, kind of feeling. If you enjoy that feeling, I think you'll like this game. Yes, the mental load is there, but the 12 rounds I think is a perfect game length. I would not want it to go longer than that, but I can manage 12 rounds of kind of daisy chaining stuff together.
Interesting. Okay.
It works for me. It works for my brain. I also like that because of the shape, there's a couple of cards in the middle that are surrounded by 6 cards, but the corners have 2 cards around them. Way easier puzzle.
Sure.
Yeah. Also worth less points.
And you have to know where you can put, what you put there so that you can complete that thing. If you're avoiding colors, you should stick those in the corners. It's way easier to avoid colors in 2 cards. Stuff like that is just a fun discovery, you know what I mean? I enjoy it, but but it is not for everybody, and you need to know that going in if you enjoy that kind of thing. For me, I would pick this up. Yes, I think it's a good one. So 7 out of 10.
Well, there you go, folks. That's Ofrenda. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Zee Garcia.
And I'm Camilla.
And we're all dead. Well, our pictures aren't in this
Oh,
game.
dear.
Okay, dark.
All right.
Dark.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you like this review or whatever you just watched, wasn't it amazing? Check out our channel, Dice Tower. We have all kinds of things. We review games, we do top 10s, we play games live. It's all about board games, but especially the people who play them. Check out Dice Tower YouTube channel.